TM. How's it going? This is Blue Eyed Queen. I'm just putting the stream in our sub chat on Twitter. So if you're not in the sub chat and you want to be, drop a comment and I'll drop you in there. So happy Thursday. I had to check to see what day it is of the week. We're coming in live from my home studio. This is, I call it the art house. There's 2 bedrooms, a terrace, all of the things that make my world kind of function. So I wanted to kick more into the streaming action because I have been receiving a lot of beautiful feedback in DMs about how people are saying that they wish that more people had the tenacity and the perseverance and the grit and the hustle to get up each day and be grateful for life and put life in God's hands and be blessed with all of the things that are coming to you instead of dwelling on the things that you don't have. And so I want to read one of the comments that came yesterday. And they said, "Your art is really so impressive, unique, and captivating. You embark on a journey and you don't know at the beginning where you will end up. Thank you for your interest and your effort and your ambition as a human. You are truly such an inspiring personality. I love your mindset, your motivation, and the way you keep thinking. Keep it up and keep on crushing. Your words have truly touched my heart. It's incredible to hear when my words resonated with you and that you feel supported and valued. Because when people say nice things to me, I take the time to really get to know them and give them that personal connection, because life is short and it's hard. And sometimes we just need somebody on our shoulders just to remind us about how you feel valued, how you as a person brings awareness." And so this person writes, because I don't know if they're a guy or a girl, it's a penguin. Ah! "Your journey is incredible." I know my apes are like, "What? Penguins are reaching out?" Yes, penguins are reaching out. "Your journey is incredibly inspiring, and I'm genuinely impressed by your passion. Even though we haven't known each other for long, it already feels like we've been friends since a time. And that's why I'm so grateful for a connection like yours. Keep on shining and creating. Never stop pursuing your dreams and know that I truly believe in you. Sending lots of love, gratitude, and all the best vibes." So really cool. We're going to kick it off the stream with that, with some motivation, because it's a feel-good moment. And so I'm Blue, and I come from Forma Yoga Labs, where I started as one of the first employees, and I worked under the realm for 2.5 years, creating company culture, the brand book, sending takedown requests, the takedown department, social media handles, brand protection, customer service, shipping, merch. I mean, all of the bolts and the nuts and all of the trinking in the background, the mindset was here. So now I'm on the community side, where I am no longer at the office, and I gained all of that knowledge of being at the office, and I'm able to put it into buckets of passion in art and knowing the process from start to finish and how to get there. So since then, I've launched 2 NFT collections, one with the Believer team. It was called Vibrant Energy, and it sold out in seconds. It was amazing. I was like, what? And the second was on the launch pad of Magic Eden, and it was called 555. And so 555 is currently in display, 21 pieces, at a NFT gallery called Journey. And that's in Old Las Vegas on Water Street. And so I've been carefully, meticulously planning different interviews and media sets and what do I want to contribute to the Web3 space. So I joined forces with the Omega team, Pinky and Chris Slack and DC and Crypto Face, and there's others that I'm not naming, Bradley, Dahlia, etc., all the folks. And I've been kicking off full speed with streaming with this team, getting women empowerment going, talking about diversity and inclusivity, but also just remembering that we need to put down these walls that we have in front of us and just be those human people, have a human connection, have a spiritual connection. And so that is what I'm bringing today, is to show some of those projects that I've been working on, because I do need help facilitating launches and grants and partners. And I've just been hitting walls after walls. And although I'm praying to God each day to show me where He wants me to be, what should I be focusing on, I'm going to leverage my community now, because I've been knocking on those doors and those doors aren't answering. So I have to find other ways to be creative, to get my needs, to get my wants, so that I can help others that are like me to be able to empower themselves and just have the courage to do something that has not been done, which is what I'm about to show you. So I'm going to kick up my screen and I'm going to pull together a project that I've spent the last 6 months on. So I started creating this before my service animal passed away. Her name was CoCo, and she is a miniature pinscher Chihuahua. She's the cutest little sweetheart ever. This is a picture of CoCo. She's sitting on my suitcase, ready to go. Got that little happiness going. She knew when we were traveling that when I pulled out the suitcases that this is what we're going to be doing. So let me see if this looks a little better. Actually, it all looks good. There we go. So this is my children's coloring book. So pieces of the book are black and white, and the others have like splashes of color. So it's a 5-part series. So it talks about different ways for young people, families, even adults, on how to speak and communicate with folks that have unique abilities. A lot of my experiences that I have that are good, bad, ugly, evil, all of the above, amazing, they are just because folks are just not aware or not educated, or they don't have enough empathy that I'm disabled from the waist down. I use a wheelchair to move around. So my days are really tough. They're very hard. It's already a physical burden for me to get up and do a thing. And so I created this book to kind of give a social lens for children on how they can be sweet and caring and kind and compassion. So if you have a young child and you'd like to be one of my testers, I'd love to have give you a copy of this book at no cost. Send it to your email or airdrop it to you in your wallet, and just give me some pointers on what do you think about the book, because I'm looking at it every day. And when you look at something every day, you might miss something. And so I'm just going to run you through this series and kind of get folks' minds wrapped around it. Okay, let's see. So this is CoCo. She loves to travel. We're going to go visit Blue, which is my mutant, 555 mutant. So CoCo is a service animal. And don't mind me, I'm just going to check to make sure I look okay. Yep, sure do. So CoCo is a service animal, otherwise known as a working dog. She's got her vest on. We added a cool little cap. Just look at her smile. I can even tell you exactly where she was in these photos. We were in Colombia. This was in Detroit. This was on the street in Colombia. This was in Miami. I have a photographic memory, which is a good and a bad thing. I remember literally everything. And that's just because I'm an artist. And when you look at art, you formulate different thoughts with your paintings. So this is CoCo service animal. And CoCo's ready for her trip. She's on her way to the airport. We're going to go visit Blue. And Blue has a constant runny nose. That's what Blue's disability is he has a constant runny nose. And that's how myself, Melissa, is connected with Blue. So I have a physical disability, and Blue has an invincible and a physical disability. So we become best friends because we can relate to each other. So CoCo's going through the airport. This is a coloring opportunity. So here's some content about what CoCo's experiencing as she's going through the airport. This is a really well done book. I hired an illustrator to do these illustrations of me and CoCo and the service person and Blue, but then I used an application to create these other opportunities. It was called, I think, Image AI, if I can't be mistaken. So Image AI to create the AI images of CoCo so that you can color her in. But anything that you see that has myself or another person with it was created by Bima, who's actually in Indonesia. And I used to live in Bali for a year, so I love that I'm able to kind of foster that spirituality back into this book. And so other opportunities of coloring, you can see the word CoCo here. I just want the child or the family or whoever's reading this, if it's at a hospital or if it's at a school, for the reader to be able to connect with the words by coloring, because studies have shown that when you're participating and you're engaging, your memory is more inclined to store that as a data point. So I've put little fun things in here for the reader to enjoy. So here you can kind of see CoCo running through the airport. She is on a leash. He didn't draw it in this instance because we're showing motion. But one of CoCo's duties was this little chihuahua. I mean, she's 8 pounds. And she's got a little tail running like a helicopter, right? She can move people through out of the way. She can make like a 10-foot wide path so that I come in with the chair. I just thought that was the coolest thing about CoCo. And another thing about CoCo's duties is when she was trained, she was responsible for navigating the ground. So before I became completely immobile, because now I'm completely immobile in a chair from the boating accident that I had with a reckless driver, whole different level of story. But now I'm completely in a chair. So CoCo would move on the ground and identify things that were declined or holes. And she would signal those to me by looking at me and stopping and sitting. And then I would go around them. So she was a great, great dog. So I'll just kind of skip ahead, going on the airplane. There's some IRL photos of CoCo traveling and what we had to do to get across the world. CoCo and I lived in Colombia for years, and they called her Coquito. So we've got these fun opportunities for children to participate, and also IRL photos of CoCo doing her duties. And I incorporated a couple fun facts that I like to call it for parents to read at the end on kind of why it's important for just education and awareness on disabilities, because one of the biggest hurdles that I face on a daily basis is access with door barriers, access with ramps, stairs, not enough training for folks to be able to. I can't depend on people even if I call ahead of time, give them the most warning of notice, show up to the airport 3 hours in advance. You can still get with 2 incompetent people that will pick me up by my chest and my ankles when really you're supposed to put me in an aisle chair. So that's constantly happening to me. And so CoCo's journey is very special. We have a YouTube channel and a TikTok where I put CoCo's dailies on here for her. So you can go there anytime. There's no cost to tune into CoCo's life and her legacy. She's a beautiful fur baby. She really is. And at the end, you can color in CoCo at the end. But also to kind of extend this journey of CoCo, I've developed trading cards for her. So when I'm able to get this book online on the blockchain, I created trading cards. So each of these cards are all different versions of CoCo. And I'm going to use an NFT generator. I don't know which one. So if anyone can kind of point me in that direction on what I should use, I've got 10 hats, glasses, scarves, different things. And I want to make versions of CoCo, and then those children can go back and go on the website and figure out something funny about a service animal, and to just make a game of it. Like, you're collecting all these versions of CoCo, and then here's what they mean. And it could be disability related. So it gets families and children excited, and just having a little fur baby around is a blessing of itself. And so when I have the children's book, I'd like to be able to get a physical of it. I'm kind of working out what that entails. But for now, I need to make a little money so that I can do that. So I would like to put it on the blockchain, get interest around the series 1. If people really love it, which I know they will, I'm already developing series 2, and 3 is already in the works. So I've got all of these books that are being created. I just don't have the resources to help me get it online yet. I'm learning as much as I possibly can about Python and interactive PDFs and generative NFT creators. I mean, I'm going to bed at 2, 3, 4 in the morning. You can ask anybody on Spaces. I'm up all night with them on Spaces, just chatting with them. You know, they're keeping me kind of company while I'm creating consistently. And so with the NFT trading cards, that will be a way for additional education. I've got my YouTube channel, which has over 1 million views. My TikTok, I've just started TikTok in August, and it's already surpassed 200,000 views. I'm using different programs to help me post the content online because I'm a one-woman show. I don't have time to do all of those things on my own. So that's coming as well. And with the podcast that I'm creating on YouTube and TikTok, there is an opportunity to take those voiceovers and also put those on the blockchain. I mean, there's so much opportunity for taking this content and driving it to our space, our everyday space, and then also fostering it into the Web 2 adoption. So the kind of the normie land, where once I get a grant, I've been applying to everything. Thrive, Metis, Zion, ThinkApe. I've even applied to like the small nugget ones here in my city, just to kind of get a little bit of that fuel going, because this to me is a very important piece to have for, I don't know why I didn't show that trading card this whole time. This piece, it's not only important for like a passion project for me, but I know there's a lot of people that have disabilities, and they have the same feelings that I have all the time. And there isn't enough voices to help represent the underrated and the minorities. So we just don't have a platform. And I'm going to do my best to kind of formulate this roadmap of the children's coloring book series 1 NFT collection, where we have the NFT collection for you to own the book. I don't know how many copies that's going to be. I'm not sure what that looks like. I'll have to test the market. The trading cards for children to continue being involved after the first series until the next series comes out. The audio podcasts for NFTs for people to hear about different situations, surgeries, relationships, dependability, accessibility, reliability. And I know they all kind of sound like the same, but they're different. You can't always rely on the world to work for you, especially when processes are broken. So you have to find other ways around it. And last but not least, the shows that I'm going to be hosting with Omega Media. This will give me another layer of this light, so that when I am cooking this up and starting to drop it, the audience can gravitate to it and get a hold of it. We'll do giveaways. We'll get it in the hands of the children and get their feedback. But not only that, but just have CoCo's legacy to live on, because she was a very important part of my life. 16 years with a service animal is amazing. And I couldn't be more excited to GM. Couldn't be more excited to share this journey about service animals, disability, inclusivity, education around having a fur baby, and how you can get them certified for training you and what your disability is. So there's a lot of things to kind of unravel here, and it's beautifully designed. It's months and months in the works, and now I just need it to kind of grow its wings for the right team to help me amplify this. I would really like to lean on my community in the Web3 world, since I am bridging a gap of bringing my mutant into this book. So I'm kind of like knocking on those doors. Like, this would be a good thing for the club to show diversity, women in Web3, disabilities, and it's not just focused on one group of the ideology, which is kind of what we see. It's mostly men. As a minority, this is good, and this should be something more highlighted. I'm not saying that to support me. I'm saying that because this is facts. We can't just all be seen as a man in the crypto space. We have to have thought processes and leaders and other voices so that we can show that we are inclusive. So if you want to support and you want to just give me some ideas, drop in some of those nuggets, give me comments on what you think I could do to improve my system, where I should be reaching out, if there are platforms of education that I should be tapping on. I'm hearing that I should go to the Apple store, get it on Kindle, do all these places, drop it as many places as I can that's cost effective, and I love that. So if there are apps that are already educational driven, if there are places that I can put this, not just one blockchain, but multiple blockchains to get the awareness out there, that's awesome. I welcome that. And I'm going to need some learning curve, of course. So mentors, again, really appreciate just the time. Time is the one thing in the world that we can't get back. So thank you for tuning in. I'm Blue Eye Queen. This is CoCo's book, Tales of a Service Animal, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Ciao, ciao for now.